guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a draw with me. So the focus is this guy right here. His name is Damien. He's my OC. I've actually had him for so long now. I never got around to making a reference sheet of him, but I decided that, you know what, it's been long enough. I need to put something down. So I decided I would make a reference sheet of his like casual everyday fit. I'm not super good at drawing guys simply because I love women, but I've never really been like someone who draws a lot of men, so this was a bit hard. It was a bit easier because I've drawn in time before. You can see the references I keep pulling up, but it was still a bit harder than most. In fact, it was so hard that I just cut out the entire sketch process because it just took so long. And I don't think you guys want to sit through hours and hours of me just scrapping sketch after sketch because I just can't, for the life of me, stick to them. So the next part was it's really hard designing characters for character reference sheet for me because it takes a lot of thinking, a lot of understanding of what that character is, what they like, what they do, and a lot of that can be seen through their body language, how they stand, how they rest, the kind of facial expressions they make. All of that requires a lot of thinking, and it can be a bit hard sometimes. But either way, we keep going. I decided that I wanted to make him a bit muscular, but I was having a hard time choosing between a really muscular frame and a really lean frame because I want him to be beefed up because he's a mage, and of course like there's magic in the webcomic world that I'm trying to make. He's a mage and he wields like earth and fire magic, and that takes a lot of physical ability, a lot of strength, and he's very muscular as a result of that. It's part of his line of work and all that. So it's like he's very bulky, but not so much so that he's big. So yeah, he's like lean muscle, lean fit. And it was a bit hard for me to draw that because number one, I'm not that good at drawing muscles. Number two, I'm not that good at drawing men. So it's like, But we make do. I just got a little reference from Pinterest. Shout out to the Pinterest gods. You can also follow me on Pinterest by the same name. And I just used that as a reference. I used a lot of references. I actually photo bashed a couple of them for almost every part of his body. And it turned out pretty well. Like I adjusted some things. I decided to change the position of his hand because it just didn't look right. And speaking of hands, they are the bane of my existence. But what else is new? So his hand was actually causing me an unnecessary amount of trouble. So I decided that I was going to change it. And I just took an old hand that I had drawn on another different male character, and I just traced over it. Yeah. Don't sue me. I don't think tracing is that big a deal if you do it right. So anyways, at this point, I'm just doing a lot of cleanup work. It took a lot of adjusting here and there to make this character sheet, simply because of, number one, the way I like to draw, and number two, how difficult it was for me to get this character to look the way I wanted it to look. But it came out pretty good, and if you stick to the end, you can see it. I also really like the way that I've come to terms with making art in line art, because I know a lot of artists really don't like doing line art, and I was one of those artists, but I was able to make a bridge between it because over the course of time, when I tried experimenting with different art styles and line art styles, I realized that I don't like the way rough sketched illustrations look. But I also don't like the way super clean, highly refined, perfected line art illustrations look. So I got this perfect mix where it's like a bit of like an additive and destructive method. So you put some, you take some. That's why you can see all the carving out I'm doing with the line art I'm doing. And again, speaking of hands, I didn't like the fist. It just didn't speak to me. So even though I put a world of effort into making his very pretty hands look well, I actually ended up scrapping this thing because it just didn't feel the way I wanted it to. Yeah, I didn't like it. But anyways, I feel like that's, kind of a good thing in art, not necessarily loving your art all the time because it pushes you to do more. or it pushes you to quit. So it just depends on who you are, honestly. Again, I don't think tracing is that big a deal. I traced this hand from a reference I got, and I don't think it's that big a deal, but I could be wrong. What's your opinion on tracing? Do you think it's a big deal? Do you think people shouldn't do it at all? Do you think people should do it, but there's like a way people can do it? Like, what's your opinion? I'd love to hear people's opinions, because I feel like I don't hear a lot of art opinions these days, but maybe that's just because I don't spend too much time on the internet looking for art opinions. So his hair is actually really funny, the colors I used to separate his face from his hair, but his hair was a bit more challenging for me. I don't know why, it just is. I think it's because I have a preconceived notion of what I think his hair looks like in my mind, but then when I put it down, it just doesn't work. Ew, no mother, please. It's just really soft and fluffy, and it moves really well with his movements. It's also split down the middle because lore. Okay, we're gonna pretend we didn't see that. But anyways, so moving on to his boots, it's at this point I then decided that, you know what, I'm going to make this a casual fit. I didn't actually know what I was doing at the beginning, I was just kind of going. But then I realized, you know what, this is just gonna be a regular fit, like what he would wear, because he's a mage, right? So obviously he does mage work. But what does he do when he's off duty? When he's playing video games at home, when he's going grocery shopping, when he's feeding the ducks at the park, when he's getting chased by the ducks at the park, what is he doing? And that is what this outfit is centered around. It's supposed to be comfortable, it's supposed to be casual, not too comfortable, because he's never the kind of person to, you know, just be a complete potato sack, couch potato. I don't know. He's not a potato. But yeah, he's never the kind of person to just be completely relaxed at all points in time. So there will be some level of utility and meaning to his clothing. But in the end, everyone's got a casual point, everyone's got a rest point, and this is what I wanted to draw for his rest point. So yeah, I really didn't know what I was doing, because I've never started with the shoes before. I don't know why I started with the shoes this time. That's never happened before. But anyways, I just decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Like, I'll just leave it and see how it goes. The fitted muscle shirt, because I have no excuse. I love fitted muscle shirts, especially on men. I think they look so cute. I don't think cute's the right word, but I think they look so nice. So how I draw the shirt, the pants of characters, is that on the basis of their body, I start to kind of sculpt it above them. And I make adjustments as I move forward. I also adjusted the muscles because I felt he was way too skinny. Like, this is not Genshin Impact. I'm not afraid to give my character muscles. So yeah, I increase like the bicep size, because he fights with his hands all the time. So it only makes sense that he would have beefy hands. But anyways. So moving on, I start to clear up the undersides, the part that you wouldn't see because the clothes are covering it. I actually struggled a lot between his body type, because obviously there were other illustrations I did where he was a lot beefier. This illustration he's this character design sheet he's a lot slimmer, but I'll figure it out as I go. So I don't know what kind of weird crop top thing I had going on, but I scrapped it, just gave him a simple shirt and sweatpants. In the end, it's a casual fit, so as much as I love him, he's only gonna be wearing something casual. I also gave him bandages because with working in a highly dangerous field like magery, then you're most definitely going to have wounds and injuries. So yeah, he has a lot more wounds and injuries underneath there, but that's underneath. I don't think you need to see that right now. I'm not that kind of Twitter artist. Speaking of Twitter, you can actually follow me there. I actually don't say a lot, but to be honest, who the fuck does? But anyways, speaking of Twitter, you can follow me there at Sanmithebug, same name. I will link it down below in the comments. And you can leave your Twitter handle and I can check it out if you want me to. So moving on, I also drew this little face in the corner. That's just something I actually recently started doing, because I remember when I'd seen other artists do it. I think likelihood art comes to mind first. But also I think it gives a lot of character to the character. I think it gives a lot of personality, because You know, for me, the standing body is a very basic thing. It's just a reference of what they look like on the day-to-day. But I think that the little face in the corner gives a much bigger testament to who they are, what kind of personality they have, what kind of character traits they have. I think it's honestly a lot more active. And I would love to show more characters that I've actually done this for, because I have 2 other female characters that I've done this for, and I would love to talk about them. And that's actually, I think that's what's gonna be one of my next, if not next 2 videos, where I show me drawing and illustrating the characters and their reference sheet, because I actually need to do a redesign of them. So if you want that and you want to see that, then please stick around, because I love showing stuff like that. I really loved how this face came out, because it's like, it's just so smooth and so pretty, and I love it. And I love the way his very disproportionate eyes came out too. The lines are just so clean. I don't know, I just love the way my art, the lines look right now. I'm still trying to improve on like the color, the perspective, and the like form of stuff, but I think that right now it's pretty good. So I had to add some more stuff. And actually, after I filmed this, I went back to make lots and lots more adjustments, because I realized I forgot some stuff. And I'll let you know what that stuff is at the end. I also got this really sick palette from Pinterest. It's really warm, but it's also very bold and strong, and I love that. I had to do some blending to get the perfection of the colors that I really wanted, but that's fun. His hair is straight down the middle because haha, lore. But anyways, I think it's really pretty. It makes it look like cotton candy, which I think is honestly really, it's a fun little contrast to his stern personality in his face. But don't make fun of him for it, because he will find it. So we get to the shirt part. The shirt was actually really enjoyable for me, because I thought the shirt color was too dark. So I started blending some other colors, you know, trying to test out what other colors would I like. Test out how I would draw him. Would I just change the line color to outline other parts? But I felt like the dark black was just too black. It was too pitch black for me. So I decided that I would blend some other colors in the chest, as we will soon see. And I decided that I would just mix a bunch of colors and see which ones I like, and see which ones bring out the best version that I would want. And yeah, the army green pants, I didn't put the army pattern in there because I didn't want it there. I felt like the green pants alone was very simple and very nice. The red lining on some of the clothes also is a nice touch. I had a lot of fun testing out the colors for his boots, because I had a previous character that I gave lighter colored shoes to, but I felt like he would do better with the dark colored shoes. Doing some more adjustments to the face, because the proportions were a bit off. And with designing these characters comes a lot of epiphanies of our character designs, and it's really, really enjoyable. Like, I think everyone should design characters, at least once anyways. So I had to even mismatched eyebrows, because it gives a bit of a contrast to his hair. So this is almost done actually. We are getting to the point, like I said, the shirt, where I decided to blend some of the colors in and just see what kind of mix they would give me, and see if, you know, it would give me something enjoyable that I would like, and if I could give that color a better chance, which I did. Now we get to what had to be my favorite part of this entire drawing, which was, of course, shading and blending in the tiny little face. Man, I love the little face. I think it was just so expressive. I love the colors I use, because I'm trying out this new color style where I shade in a bit of a different way, something different to what I'm used to. And I think it's just honestly so fun, and it just opens up so much more doors. Like, every time I think that my art is quote unquote peaked, I find a new peak in something, and it's just really enjoyable. Like, I'm really looking forward to the next step and where my art's gonna go. I love nothing more. But I think that his hair looked really nice here, and I like that I didn't really give his pupils like a line the way I gave the bigger one. I just filled in some of the rest of the colors, and I'm gonna let you just see what I either way, I'm doing some minor corrections, adjustments here and there. Mostly a lot of layer file arrangements, to be honest. Like, that's the bigger thing. But I also changed the color of the bandage because I felt like it was just way too yellow. Like, it looks dirty. I also was having a bit of a hard time with the way I split up the hair, so I decided to just make it simplify it. And also change a bit of the color for the boots because I'm very picky about the colors. And now I get to shading this lip. I like to give my characters a top lip and a bottom lip, but he's just such a pouty dude. Like, I think that the bottom lip just suits him the best. If you, for some reason, decide that you want to draw him, then draw him whatever lip you want, but please give him lips. This is the color style that I was talking about. So I decided that I would start putting in a really shallow, cold, blue-leaning color, and then top it up with a warmer color. And I just think it gives it such a nice effect. Maybe I'm just like trying to convince myself that what I did made sense, but honestly, I love it. Especially, like, do you see the way the chin looks? Like, it really highlights his jawline. And of course, some shading for the neck down there, some purples and blues, and some simplification. I just thought this whole thing just looked really nice. I loved it. I can't wait to make an SFX sheet for his attacks because I really want to show off what it is that he does as a mage. So I go to the second phase and I do the same thing there. Some cold colors. This was actually a bit more experimental than the last one. Some cold bluish colors in there, some deep purples, and then I decided to top it up some dark reds. And I don't know, I feel like in a way it was really just a bit of me just joking around and having fun. But I really like how it came out. I simplified it at the end, but I really like how it came out. And then I gave him a little chin because he's a little shit. And then I decided that there was not enough contrast on the lips, so I decided to darken it, which is just fine. He has pretty lips, and I think it's actually kind of funny now that I think about it, because I think, like, what if he was wearing makeup? Some more color adjustments, adjusting the boots, adjusting the shoes. Okay, those were some pretty ugly colors I was using, but I was making adjustments. At this point, I think the next step is to put in my signature, but I guess not. I'm adjusting, making more proportion adjustments because I wanted his lip to be a bit higher. I felt like it was just too down low over there. So I adjust it and I go through the whole repainting over the adjustment line. And yeah, it was honestly, I don't know, there's something about repainting and stuff like that that feels fun. I feel like a little surgeon cutting my stuff up. We're almost done here. If you've actually managed to stick through me talking and drawing, then I'm really thankful. I just started this YouTube channel and I'm hoping I can grow a community and share my art and share my characters and reach out to people and actually, you know, enjoy being on the internet. So if you're still here, thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you and talking about this guy to you. I give him some more bandages on his face, and here's the point where I actually forgot to put his scar, but I did later put it, and I actually came back to make a bunch of adjustments to the drawing. Also, some random character facts that I think are very important to the very thread of this character. He's very annoyed by people's stupidity. Same. He is a bit over-independent. He's very lean, but very strong and very quick. The two-tone hair is from his elemental energy, and I cannot wait to share what that means. I am referencing another illustration that I did so I can put the proper placement for the watermarks. I don't think anyone's gonna steal this, but people are surprising. And honestly, it's not really more for preventing people from stealing it. It's more just because I think it looks cool when I do stuff like that. And at this point, we are practically at the end. This is the finished illustration. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And here's another video for your viewing pleasure.